All right. Hello, everyone. Hey, Dave.
How's it going?
Another day in paradise, All
Another
right.
day, another webinar, another Ready
Another
Set
day,
Connect.
another day, another webinar. Welcome, everybody.
All right. So what are we talking about here today, Rob?
Today, we're going to talk about safety and quality control, right? Specifically, getting
Yes,
that
sir.
information into ProjectSight, right? So into your data center, ProjectSight, your project management platform, where you're going to be able to have all of the different levels throughout the company interacting with this data, right? But specifically, getting that data in from the mobile device, real time on things that matter, right? So that's what we're going to be focusing on today.
All right. Just to highlight the platform we're using today, you can enter questions in. We'll try to get as many as we can at the end. It's a big question mark. I think it's at the bottom of your screen. It's where you're going to enter in your questions and interact with us. If you haven't been on our series before, who is us? Who are we? Dave Thomas, Project Site Specialist here at Trimble Viewpoint. Came from the industry, have used numerous PM platforms and solutions, so I have that end user experience. And we'll pass over to my counterpart, Rob. Introduce yourself. We'll get rolling.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah. Hey, everyone. If you haven't been here before, I'm Rob Filer. I also come from the industry like Dave, right? Similar but different. I come from the commercial interior side, right? I worked for a Manhattan-based GC doing a lot of commercial interior work in Midtown for a number of years. So before that, I was in the commercial electrical world for a little bit. That's where I got my start. So happy to be here, Dave. I feel like we need some sort of like intro music or something.
Yeah, where's the cheesy marketing music? We got to get some of that. Get some B-roll
Yeah.
music coming.
We need our own theme song or something.
All right. Next week.
Next week. Okay.
All right.
Simplify your tech stack. I like it.
Simplify your tech stack. That's what we're trying to do, right? So what we're covering here today: quality control, safety. A lot of folks are doing this. A lot of folks are doing this with other point solutions that don't trickle down, don't interface with your other solutions.
Yeah.
So that's why we want to highlight this here today.
That's a really good point. I can't count how many times, our safety, there's a specific safety person on staff who has their own software and their own platform just for managing safety stuff, and nobody else knows anything about it. Nobody has access to it. It's just like it might as well be, a file cabinet in the corner of the storeroom where all their safety stuff is going, and they just totally entrust somebody that has it totally disconnected from the rest of the project, right? How great would it be to have that safety top of mind for project managers, for superintendents, so that they could be adding safety concerns in, so that when something is wrong, not only can they see it, but you can assign it to them, right? I think that's where we're going as an industry, is really more accountability for everybody, right? It's not just, oh, here comes the safety guy again. Everyone put your hard hats on. Everyone really has buy-in to safety. That's what I've seen across the industry. Many companies are now really, sort of passing that down and cascading that responsibility to the individuals, not so much as just an oversight role. So I think ProjectSight really helps with that.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we're covering ProjectSight in the middle here. Project management, don't want to miss the fact that ProjectSight is part of a broader solution set, part of a broader solution set of what you use across the project lifecycle, from design all the way to execution here in PM. Reality capture out there with robotic total station scanners, and then of course the financial piece, which is one of the big strong points of ProjectSight, is that native connection into your accounting ERP. All right, so with that, let's get to what you came here for. Some live hands-on. This is going to be a live demo, so please excuse any errors, missteps, user errors. That's on me. All right. Should be seeing my screen.
Here we go. Kick it live.
All right. Okay, hopping into ProjectSight again. Logged in as Dave Thomas. I've got all the high-level switches turned on. I'm a portfolio administrator, so this interface you're going to see here might not be the interface that everybody on your project sees, right? You're only going to be able to see the modules you should be seeing for your user role, and we let you really define that all the way down to the individual field on every record type. So keep that in mind as we're going through.
That's right.
All right, specific area we're going to be covering. Let's hop down into our field management section. You'll notice we've got safety in here. We've got checklists for our quality control checklist. We're going to start off over here in safety. And I've got my safety log of incidents. This is where you can track near misses and incidents. We want to get all your documentation, photos in here, right? You know, some people say less is more with some records. With photos, I got to say more is more. I don't think most folks in the field take enough photos, take enough videos, especially when it comes to safety, right? That's one of the places we're trying to help with here today.
Yeah. It's much easier when you can just pull it up on your phone and you've got the camera pulled up and you're just snapping photos and automatically dropping them in, right? It makes it so much easier. And that's from my own personal experience, right? Using a project management platform in the field. It just makes it so much easier.
Yeah, I think that's what I wanted to show you here today, is not just what you're looking at over here in the browser, but more importantly, what you're seeing over in the mobile experience. See if I gotta pull that up. You guys can take a look at it there. All right, yes, it is. All right, here we go. We're out in the field. We're on an iPad Pro here. I'm gonna click on this. We're gonna get into our same project you just saw there. We're getting over here into safety. Let's dive into safety. Now you're seeing those same.
I'm not seeing it on the screen.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
Yeah. It could just be me, but I'm not seeing that.
Live demos, gotta love it.
Gotta love it.
This should fix it right here. Let's see. Is that it? You see me now? Hope
yes.
So. All right, I mentioned it. I warned you guys, user error. There it is. That was user error. All right, let's get into it. Now we've got our same 4 notices. You'll notice we got these clouds all over ProjectSight. ProjectSight Mobile, the 2.0, the second generation app, the new app we have here, excellent at handling device storage, pulling down not just individual records, which you can, the whole record set. If you know you're going offline, you're going to be able to track that and get your offline access. Rob, you still seeing my?
Now I'm just seeing your desktop background.
Isn't that what everybody came here to see? My lovely desktop background.
Yeah. No. What is that? What is it? Like salt?
Yeah, that's Mono Lake. Yeah, tufa. They're called.
Tufa?
Bubbling up minerals from the ground over in Mono Lake.
Oh, really?
All right. Yeah.
All right, we'll have to talk more about that afterwards.
All right, so I'll open one of these. There you go.
Yeah.
Tracking this. Idea is we want to get information in the field, capture it, get photos, get videos, get the kind of the big details, save it. Even if you're offline, save it. It'll upload when you get connectivity back. And then once we're back in the office, end of day, fill in the kind of the fine minutia, the details over on the browser side. So here, this one's started to be filled out a little bit, but you know, big thing here, photos, right? Let's capture some photos. Let's get a great photo of my wall. Take a photo of what happened, location. This one's a safety violation here. A big key, you know, I'm able to just write with my finger. Text if I need to. It's real simple. If you never even used this before, you'll be super comfortable doing it.
So you can take the photos, mark the photos up, and then input them in, right?
Yep.
You got an affinity for water features, huh? You got another lake there?
I know, right? All right, so we're tracking type, predefined drop-down lists that are tailored to the types of violations, types of near misses that you might have on your project, not what we think you should have, right?
Yep. Yep. This is what ProjectSight does really well, is having these types here, right? So you can configure those types to whatever you want them to say, right? And you're not locked into, what a standard safety app would have, right? It's not. I know that a lot of the applications and the project manager platforms out there today, they're a little more rigid as far as the types, the record types, right? You can configure ProjectSight so that this same workflow, walking around, snapping photos, adding a type, right, assigning it out to somebody, you could do that in the safety module, but you can also do that in a different module, right? So for safety, you can have different types of safety concerns, right? Maybe it's different violation types. Maybe it's different locations, right? Different material violations, right? Anything like that you wanted to add in there, you can, right? So we really grant a lot of flexibility to our customers in dealing with these sort of more mundane aspects of construction, right?
Yeah, that's a great point. And getting that basic information in, and you'll see I can start to enter in the detailed information. We got areas for case number, who's responsible, any reference data, specific employees involved. This is one what you might want to fill out in the field just while you have it in your mind. But a lot of this stuff we're going to want to do back in the office, right, Rob? Once we kind of sit down, gather everything together.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think the big benefit here, we can assign it to somebody right off the bat. So maybe we're not going to handle, we're just getting the front end stuff. We're going to hand it off to the back office. We can add folks on the fly here and get this process started, get them notified.
Yep. And the great part is that these fields, you can make those required fields. So that way, it's like a form. It's like a government document, right? You got to have these fields completed before you click submit on that, or it's going to kick it back. So it's a great way. There's a lot going on in the heat of the moment. Someone gets hurt, or when there's a safety violation. Those fields, it's easy to graze over a couple, and then you say, "Oh, I didn't take a picture of that. No, I'm not sure what he was driving or how they got there or where the materials were stored," right? So you can make all those required fields. That way you annotate all that information. That it's the difference between, winning a lawsuit and having a pretty big payout. It really is. It comes down to those finer details when you're at the end of a litigation battle like that. So that's another thing, right? You're time stamping everything with these inputs, right? So when you're on the mobile device, right, I don't want to see a safety notice that was completed 48 hours after the incident.
Yeah.
I want to see a safety notice that was time stamped 6 minutes after this incident happened, or the morning of, right? Because that's what's important. And so ProjectSight is going to automatically do that for you in a way that completing a paper form just isn't going to do. It's not going to do it. So another good point is having that audit trail available to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Time and date stamped, set in stone, poured in concrete, whatever you want to call it, it's there. So you come back a year later, you're having to defend against litigation, you're going to be able to do it. All right, this one, I filled out my piece. I'm going to send it to the safety manager for review. He's going to get notified, email. He'll come in here, add his details, kick it back to me if there's any missing data. But we're tracking it. It's all getting tracked, right? That's the whole point here. Keep it all consolidated, keep all the attached documentation in one location. And like what we kicked off with, consolidating your tech stack, right? We're not having to log into another safety solution, which we haven't used in 6 months because we had no violations. and we can't even find our password, right? We're already logged in. We're already in ProjectSight every day. It's right here. There's no question where to go. All right. So that's safety. You know, we could dive in a little deeper here, but we just want to give you a high level how it works, how we're capturing that data, and the key points, right? The offline access on the mobile app, getting that front end data, that front end protection data and details, photos, videos into the system so we're not losing anything, right? All right, let's switch gears a little bit. We're still in the field management area, ProjectSight. We're over in our safety notices here, but you know, big piece of what we wanted to cover here today was quality control. Hopping into quality control. Here you see in checklists, these are our configured, templated checklists. We've got different types, and one key type is quality control. So you'll see, I think I've got one here we can use. We can start from scratch. You'll see I'm pulling from a preset template checklist. I'll use this one just as a concrete quality control pour card. And now you'll see I can name it. So I pulled that template, but let's say it's a pour card for Monday, 4/10, or Tuesday, or Thursday, whatever the date is. There you go. And you'll see these fields. We've got open text fields for basic data entry, date fields, date and time, right?
Yep.
And you'll see we've got pass, fail, or yes, no compliance for the questions we want to track what's conforming and what's not. And if it's not, why is it not? All right, so once again, let's hop over to the mobile piece. Let's show kind of what it looked like out in the field. Over to checklists. And you'll see if I dive into one of these, here's one that's starting to be filled out. Got a photo attached to it. So here's similar setup. And key piece I love is being able to take photos, not just of the attached to the checklist as a whole, but once again, easy photos, easy markup. There's my lovely wall again. But as you're doing quality control, highlighting what you need to, taking photos right from your camera, just pulling it right up. And you'll see there's that not so great photo I just took. But when we go to print this out, when we go to print a nice formatted PDF of this quality control checklist, these photos are going to attach and show up right next to the line item they're assigned with. So this specific question I just answered, that number one.
Yeah, that is a cool feature. That is a very cool feature. Right? It's kind of like, you know, doing sort of your pre-inspection punch list, you know, running down the list, walking the job site, taking photos of anything that may be of issue, having it as a quality control checkpoint, and then, you know, being able to send it out to somebody. Right? If I'm a general super, you know, I'm going to want to do this every couple of weeks, make sure that my jobs are going well, right? And keep, you know, maybe there's things that the superintendent is sort of letting go a little bit that, you know, I see as maybe being potential schedule impacts. I'm going to want to point those out, right? So this is a great way to do that. Have it all down in writing, you know.
Yeah, and once again, being able to do this offline, right? Out in the field, capturing it when it happens, not end of day, not the next day when you forgot to do it, same day, getting it right in the system as you need it. And pushing this through an approver, we can get, Rob, sign off on this, right? Push it to whoever needs to get eyes on it.
Yeah, I think we were talking about it a little bit last week. With change orders and getting overtime and stuff approved as far as ROI and making products that pay for itself and really keeping that profit, right? Lessening that profit fade. You can do that by getting digital signatures directly on stuff, right? So maybe for a subcontractor, if you're a GC, or a GC for a subcontractor, signing off on time or overtime or change orders. Same process applies with checklists and forms and getting sign offs for things like quality control stuff, right? For safety notices as well. And this is role based sign offs, right? So anyone with that role will be able to sign off on that particular checklist.
Yeah,
So
you bet.
a really good way to do that, as opposed to having individuals assigned to it, right?
Yep. So I didn't have mine set up for an approver yet, but if I did, that approval page, if I came in as approver, I'd have a box there to sign off, and that'll be time and date stamped, so we know when and how that got signed.
Yeah. All right, Dave, we're coming up on time here. We got a question in the chat. We got one here. Custom, how difficult is it to create custom safety reports, right? Can you export these? Yes, you can certainly export checklists and reports, right? You can download them. You can batch download all the safety reports for the week or for the month, pull them into a collated report, and then send them out. Something really cool that I like about ProjectSight is when you create a report like this, right? If you create a safety notice or if you create a checklist, right, you can assign it to somebody, and then there's a CC tab as well. So you can CC somebody, courtesy copy there. And what happens when you do that is it's automatically you have to have the settings set up the right way, but it will automatically create a PDF report of that document. And it will send that with the notification to the inbox, whoever it's assigned. Right. So what does that mean for me practically? It means that I can courtesy copy my chief operating officer or my safety manager whenever there's an incident, and they don't have to go into ProjectSight to see it. They can pull it up as a PDF in their inbox. Right. It's a great value add feature within ProjectSight because it means that it's just lowering one notch the barrier of entry, right? So they don't have to go into ProjectSight, because if I have to log into something every time I want to see a safety notice, and I'm an executive and I got 5,000 other things going on, I'm going to lose interest very quickly in that software, right? So here you can just see it directly from your email. So yes, you can export, and yes, it's very easy to create custom reports within ProjectSight. Or I'm sorry, custom checklists within ProjectSight.
Yeah, you definitely don't need a 4-year coding degree on how to do it. It's built for you to be able to do that on your end. Don't need to come to us. Don't need us to build a custom one. We're always here to help. The idea is once you've done it a few times, you've mastered it.
That's right. That's right. All right. All right, Dave. I think that brings us right to time. Another successful webinar, right, in the books. Hopefully, everyone, that gives you a nice little taste of a workflow that you may be experiencing in your organization, right? Maybe you have a safety software solution right now. Maybe you don't. Maybe it's still old school. Maybe everyone's accountable for their own stuff, or maybe you don't have any program going on at all, right? Going through a ProjectSight implementation is not only a great way to get on a software, obviously, but it's also a great way to standardize processes within your company, right? Let us take the bullet and get all of your field users in a room for you so that we can say, hey, this is how your safety is going to be. This is how your safety notices are going to be, right? It doesn't have to come from the top down internally, right? You can come, hey, we're going to a new software. We're going to go into this training. They're going to standardize our process for us, and this is how we're going to do it from now on, right? So let us help you in that venture. And, yeah, that's really all I got to add. So a great value add long term. The safety module here, protecting yourself, protecting your company from incidents, right? Keeping subcontractors aware of where they stand as far as incidents, being able to pull, different metrics that you need to have as an operating company. So.
Absolutely. So we got more webinars coming up. Love to have you join us again. If you didn't register for these ones, you can go to the ProjectSight.trimble.com page. Go to, I think it's resources. Under resources, you got upcoming events, and you can register for ones you haven't yet and see previous webinars we've done that you might have missed.
Mm. Awesome.
All right, that's it. That's all we got for you. Email us if you have any questions. Dave_Thomas, Rob_Filer@trimble.com.
Yeah, happy to help, guys. This is what we do, day in and day out. So we're the ProjectSight guys here. So any questions, no pressure. Just feel free to reach out. We're here for you. All right. Take care, everybody.
Take care. Thanks for joining.